just want to let the whole world know that this is my son, father to this child. My son has never been to Nigeria. My son is not missing. My son is with me. And my son is with me every day. My son has, for no reason, thought of one day even sending my son to Nigeria. Not of talking that he went there and got missing. My son is every day with me. We sleep on the same bed.
Greetings, people. It's Mr. Paul the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. So finally, we've got to a point whereby the parents of the alleged baby testimony have approached a TV station in Cameroon to speak their own side of the story and to let the world know that indeed those pictures are of their 8-year-old boy, and the pictures that have been circulating are not of baby testimony. But before we analyze this gentleman or this brother who has come out on a TV station to debunk the claims that the pictures that were circulating are of baby testimony, there are so many questions that I have for this family that is in Cameroon that I think they need to answer before we can conclude that they were working together with Jeremiah Omoto, before we can conclude that they were in this whole thing together. Because it does not really make sense for them to finally come out now that the issue of God loves neighbor or the plan of God loves neighbor did not succeed. And they are finding it as the most convenient time for them now to approach a TV station to debunk that these pictures are not of baby testimony. When they actually knew about this some time ago, a long time ago, why did they not approach the TV stations, or why did they not approach media houses to let the world know that the pictures that are circulating are not of baby testimony? They are indeed of their child. Why did they have to wait for God's plan, for God's love's plan to fail, so that they can now come and speak out to people that no, those pictures are not for baby testimony? That reason alone is making me suspicious, making me think suspicious that these people, this family, they're into this whole thing together with Jeremiah Omoto. They could have been the ones that volunteered to say, listen, our child looks like baby testimony, looks like the missing child. How about you trap this guy using our child? How about you lie to this guy and these people and say that we found baby testimony? These are his pictures. And after that, we can hit them back as a damage control. Because like I said, like what someone once said in the comments, there is no way that God loved neighbor could have gone on Facebook and type Andy Brown, and just from Norway, and just type Andy Brown. And Andy Brown's profile shows up. And in Andy Brown's profile, there are pictures of a young man who looks familiar, who looks like baby testimony. And from then, God's love started executing his plan to extort money from Omoto and to extort money from me. There is no way. It's practically impossible for God's love to have done this research or to have located Andy Brown's profile on his own. It's impossible unless they were all in this together. I don't know if these people think that we are dummies or if they think that we don't think. We have intellects here, not to mention myself. You don't walk away with this level of damage control and think that we will just come here and say, oh, finally, the parents have come out, the father has come out to debunk or to claim that the child is not theirs. My brother, Mr. Andy Brown, that is not enough. To be granted an interview on the TV is not enough. There's no statement that was made there. Now the question that we have for you, Mr. Andy Brown, is, what is your relationship with the Omotos? What is your relationship with God, love, neighbor? Chances are you're probably working with God, love, neighbor. Those are the things we are questioning now. You're probably working with God, love, neighbor, trying to extort money from me or from Omoto. That is if God, love, neighbor, yourself and Omoto were not working together. You understand? An honorable parent, a responsible parent, should not have waited for this long for them to text me or to raise awareness the very first time that this picture has surfaced. That's what responsible parents do. And I will say this to you, my brother. You are not a responsible parent. And I'll say to the parents of this child, they are not responsible at all. If they are not in this game together with Omotos and God's love neighbor, they are not responsible parents. There's a serious case we are dealing with here. Don't stop messing with our minds, you people. We are dealing with a very sensitive case, a very sensitive issue of a missing child that went missing at Jeremiah Omoto's shrine. And you think you can just show up now because God's last plan did not work and tell people that, no, this is my son. I've been with my son for all this while. We are sleeping together on the same bed. That is nonsense, my brother. Why did you not tell us from the inception of this case or from the very moment that you discovered that the pictures of your son were on the internet? Why did you not reach out so that we can clear all this instead of wasting our time in doing your own investigation that you claim to be doing? That is, if not, you're not also working together with the Omotos to see how the plan of God loves neighbor will come to an end. A responsible parent, like I said, who had nothing to do with Omoto, the honorable thing or the right thing that they could have done was to call me. Send me a message, brother, you have made a mistake. The pictures that are circulating, those are not the pictures of baby testimony. Even though I did not say these are pictures of baby testimony. I never said these are pictures of baby testimony. I just posted them. And then I said, we will find baby testimony. So your entire script in the narration that you gave is inconsistent with the facts that are on the ground. So Mr. Andy Brown, my question to you that I'm throwing back at you is, what is your involvement in this issue? Before we analyze the video, I want you to watch it. And this is the favor that I want you people to do for me. He made so many inconsistencies in his report that he made on the TV that he was invited to, or that they send him to. Why go to the TV when Mr. Pull the Trigger is here and my number is on my platform? When you could have just sent me a message to say, this is not the pictures, this is my son actually. If you had, my brother, there's a child that is missing, man. Let me ring this bell again in your head. We don't care what you're feeling right now. I personally don't care. Or how you felt about this. The first thing that you should have just done was to call me and tell me that, no, these are not the pictures of the child that you're looking for. If you had also this sense of humanity, you think this is a joke? That you can now show up on the TV trying to be seen and say, oh, that's not my child. My brother, who come there in Cameroon and you think we are playing, that's the problem. I did not even give that guy the permission to be sharing my pictures of my son. You were just supposed to text me because there are so many people that are desperately waiting and wanting to know where baby testimony is. If we get new pictures of a child that look like baby testimony, we don't need permission from whoever. We post those pictures. And if they are wrong pictures, the parents must call us and tell us, no, those are not the pictures of the child that you are looking for. So listen to what this brother had to say on this interview.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on the 8 p.m. or rather 6 p.m. bilingual edition of news, the primetime newscast on Equinox Television. Live from Douala. We begin with human interest to say that the father of an 8-year-old child said to have been kidnapped in Nigeria, used by kidnappers to extort money from well-wishers in Nigeria, has presented to the child to the public, indicating that it's all been fake. We have details with Innocent Hassan.
This Cameroonian child, 4B, 8 years old, is said to have been declared missing in a church in Nigeria by fraudsters. They spread his pictures on social media that Prosper, a name they gave to the child, is son of a disabled woman, a crippled lady who is author of the fake information. Posts from fraudsters also added that the woman was later seen with the boy escaping to settle somewhere in South Africa. Another suspected criminal, Godlove Neighbor, residing in Nigeria, was apprehended by police in Delta State. He is accused of defrauding the pastor's church the sum of over £1 million CFA. On grounds, he will track down the disabled lady and the alleged missing child. Amazingly, the biological father of the boy, Oro Gideon, residing in Douala, Cameroon, told the media that
I just want to let the whole world know that this is my son, father to this child. My son has never been to Nigeria. My son is not missing. My son is with me. And my son is with me every day. My son has, for no reason, thought of one day even sending my son to Nigeria. Not of talking that he went there and got missing. My son is every day with me. We sleep on the same bed.
Every member of his family was stressed up by this information, including the boy.
When I heard of this news that my son was missing, I was so shocked, so broken. I had to go deep down to verify some information about this. and I saw that my son was even at the verge of being kidnapped if I was not reasoning well enough. My son also here has been so stressed up. My entire family has been stressed up. My wife, until my wife lost our 2 months pregnancy, not just because of all this information that's been circulated on social media. Because we don't know anything about anything. I don't even know that there's something going on in Nigeria about my son.
The alert to fraudsters named the boy Prosper and 5 years old.
That is not the name of my son. Also, over the media, they were talking of the child, I think about aged 5 years, 5 years of age. But my son sitting here is 8 years old. I've not authorized the person using pictures of my son to do anything to any harm because it's really harming my family.
Frightened by the rumors of his son's disappearance, he was compelled to take some security dispositions.
This thing went so far that I had to take my son out of school to keep in the house so that he can, for safety reasons. I can't do anything all this while I've been indoors working as security to guard my son morning and night.
Oro Gideon decided to deposit a complaint to the police to investigate into the matter. He is confident justice will take its course.
If you really paid attention to what this brother was saying, the script that he was running, everything that he was saying is propaganda. Pure propaganda. It has nothing to do with the parent that is feeling for the son, or feeling for the case, or even feeling for baby testimony. He said he did an investigation. Okay, after you did an investigation, brother, and with all the facts that I've put on my platform, which shows that God's love neighbor was doing this A, B, C, D, and E, his conversation with me from the inception of him reaching out to me. After you did that investigation and then you realized that God love neighbor was trying to extort money from me, why did you not then have this cleared out? Why did this not make sense to you that God love neighbor is the one that was propagating this whole thing? Why are you still of the notion that we are kidnappers? Why are you still spreading the narrative that one suspect has been apprehended and other kidnappers? Which other kidnappers are you talking about? There's only God love neighbor involved in this case. So which other kidnappers are you talking about? This is the narrative from Jeremiah Omoto's camp. Do you get this? This brother is running a narrative from Jeremiah Omoto's camp. The brother is even going on to say the wife lost a 2 months pregnancy because of the stress and the fear and the depression that was going on about their son. I think that is a blue lie. You are lying, my brother. You are lying. I can look straight into your eyes. You are lying. And I can tell you were told to say this. This is not coming from your own heart. This is not coming from a pure heart. That's a lie. The moment you saw that your wife was depressed, there are so many things you could have done. And one of the things was to text me, brother, that is not the missing child. Please make this known to your people, to your followers, that there is a mistaken identity. That's what you're supposed to do. But because you're lying, because you're listening to Omoto's people telling you these things to run this narrative, so that maybe you can have a case. There's no case here. The other lie that he told, I had to go and take my child out of school. Oh, you had to go and take your child out of school for safety and keep him at home and be guarding your child 24/7, making sure that there was no one that is coming to take your child. Don't you think you could have avoided all this had you come to me before you go to this useless TV station that you've gone to now? You have come to me and tell me that, listen, for you, okay, for the safety, for you not, okay, so you'd rather go through the hassles of taking your son from the school, dismissing him from his studies. Are you sure if you can give us the details of the school, they can verify what you're saying right now? To say your child was not going to school for a specific period of time. Are you sure that can be verified? My brother, we're not dummies here. Trust me. We're not dealing with a petty case. This is not a trivial issue. This issue involves a missing child. Don't come here and be used to do propaganda, to do damage control. Respect yourself, my brother. So instead of doing all this security, not sleeping at night, could you not have texted? Did you see me as someone that had bad intentions, demanding justice for a missing child? Did you see me as that kind of a person? That you couldn't text me, to write me a text or even an inbox to let me know that the child that people are saying is baby testimony, it's actually your child. Don't you think you could have done that? The other narrative that he's selling is that I was afraid they are going to kidnap. I heard that they're going to come and kidnap my child. Where did you get that narrative? From Omoto's people. That's what God Love Neighbor said on the script that he was given by the Omoto's damage control team, to say, you must come and say that you intended to go and kidnap the child from Cameroon. This is all scripted. And the problem is, you actually think we can't spot it. We can't see it. Come on, people. When are you people going to stop allowing yourselves to be used? What's the point of even going to a TV station? I don't get it, honestly. What point are you trying to make? You want to trend or what? You want to trend or what? Why not come out and say, Prof X, this is my son. But I know the initial plan was to go to Mercy City and make your statements in Mercy City. These people are false prophets, my brother. I don't know, maybe you're a son or to these false prophets as well. These people are false prophets. You don't even look like someone who was scared for his son. You look like someone who was part of the entire syndicate, who was part of the entire plan, the entire damage control. And coming out now, days after, God's Love was supposed to be in court on the 21st. We don't even know the outcomes of that court hearing. The outcome was never made known to anyone. It's only now maybe they probably have alerted this brother in Cameroon to say, the case is useless. You can even tell by the narrative that they are selling that they don't want to touch on Prof X. They are just saying kidnappers, other suspects. Because they know Prof X has nothing to do with God's love. And this brother knows I have nothing to do with God's love. But he can still come on TV and not make it clear. And still shielding God's love. He's shielding God's love. He's not making it clear that God's love, if he investigated, all the evidence is there on my platform of what God love intended to do. If he really investigated, if he went through everything, he must be in a position to sell a narrative that is true. This narrative that he's selling is biased, is in favor of Omoto for Fame. Can't you pick it up? This narrative in favor of Omoto for Fame. In the news headlines will be kidnappers wanted to extort money from Omoto for Fame. Which kidnappers? There's only God love involved here. So my brother, it's a really pathetic narrative that you've just sold to the news. The least you could have done was to be truthful and be honest, because you said you investigated, and give your news in Cameroon the truth. That there's a guy called God Love Neighbor. He contacted Prof X, a guy from Prof X, and he contacted, that is if it is the scenario, or he contacted a prophet from Nigeria. He wanted to take money from them. He lied to them that my child is called baby testimony. He lied to them A, B, C, D. His narrative is directly against Prof X, and his narrative is in favor of Omoto for Fame. So the question is, were they in this together with the parents of this child, with this brother who just came out to say what he did? Was it a plan that they orchestrated together? Was he part of the plan together with God's love to come and try to extort money from me? Maybe. But at least now it's clear that the child is 8 years old now. That was a very easy thing for these parents to do. Okay, Prof X, you have posted the wrong pictures, or the very first time, or the time that they realized it. Not for them to wait for God's love court case to finish. And the God love court case did not yield any results. When it did not yield any results, it has been dissolved. I don't know what deal they made with God love. Now the brother comes a day before month end to claim that, oh, those pictures are not for my son. Oh, I had to go to the police and launch a complaint. I hope justice will be served. What justice do you want to be served? God love is already in custody in Nigeria. He's already arrested. What more justice do you want to be served? Oh, I did not give Prof X permission to post the pictures of our son. Of course you didn't. God love did. Send me those pictures, and then he claimed that they are baby testimonies pictures. And you, my brother, you're just supposed to text and tell me that this is not... Why wait this long? You're also an accomplice. But your son, who's unaware of this whole thing, I would really say sorry, my boy. Sorry, you're getting yourself, mixed up in all this because of your parents who lack that responsibility in them. I pray for you, son, that you grow up to be a very smart boy. You do look like baby testimony, yes, and we are very desperate looking for a boy who's 3 years younger than you. If you're watching this boy, if your parents were responsible enough, they could have protected. I don't even think your life was a threat, though. But I'm just wishing you all the best. No need to be scared, young man. You are very safe. God love neighbor is arrested there. He will not come and kidnap you. But to this brother, Eddie Brown, and the family, come on, you people can do better. Eh? You can do better. I'm very disappointed in them, honestly. More than they are disappointed in the pictures of their son being circulated. Because the thing is, they think we are joking here. To even go to a station, the way he was talking like Mr. Ayo. This is not my son. I know my son. I sleep with my son. Baba, don't play with us here, honestly. Don't play with us. We're not playing. We're not joking here. We're not joking, honestly. So that's the 911 for this case concerning those pictures. So for now, I think we should disregard the pictures, but don't be worried. We have better leads now. We have a better lead with better pictures. With better pictures, same age, not this one of 5 years old and 8 years old. Don't worry. God will always keep on giving us leads. We have a better lead now. And I say this so that you know what's coming. If this was their damage control, or Omoto's team, hey, you need to prepare another bombshell of a damage control this time around. Because the effects of this new lead, they are very close together. So you need to do all the damage control that you can possibly do. And when the time comes for us to bring the news, I hope they will also be ready to do that damage control. So I think now we can now even take down all the posts that we're having the pictures of this young man. It was just a mistaken identity. So now we move until we find baby testimony, because that's our mission. And we will find baby testimony. Come here, come thunder. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger. I'll check you out on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. I'm out.